and exhales. Have you figured out the sandwich for truck-off yet? Or, your magic ingredient? No, I exhale, chopping down a little too hard on the onion I'm cutting. But a little flash of anxiety rushes through me. Truck-off is in 2 weeks. 10 days, really, and I still don't know what we're going to serve at the competition. I've experimented with a few different ideas, from mini cheesesteaks that are basically just the same thing we make right now, but made, mini, to attempting cheesesteak egg rolls in the never-used truck fryer my family mostly stores condiments in. Neither were a hit. The prize money is huge, and it's all I've been able to think about since the spring. My grades even slipped a little leading up to graduation. Winning it could change everything. And yet, I'm still stuck. Steve nudges closer and joins me in preparing the one topping we allow in the truck. He makes quick work of the whole white-capped mushrooms, cutting them up into thick slices before putting them into the container next to the onions, which do not count as toppings. Onions are a key part of the cheesesteak, as much as the cheese, steak, and bread. Mushrooms are the unwelcome interlopers, but Mom and Dad were asked about them so many times, they finally caved. Though, with mushrooms come consequences. Look, I know you're stressed, and there's a lot riding on the competition, Steve presses, slicing away. But you have to think of something. I know, I grumble. Steve's been here with me nearly every weekend these last 2 years, in my family's cheesesteak truck, splitting tips while saving for his own dreams. And now, it's the summer, and we're spending as many days as we can slinging lunches and spectacularly late-night meals for folks in South Philly. I couldn't ask for a better sous chef, and I couldn't ask for a better friend. But he knows how my whole family feels about change. After my parents lost their diner years ago, they try to play things as safe as possible. Give people what they want, and that's it. New ingredients, new sandwiches. You start messing with the menu, and bam! That's when your deli gets turned into an H&M, Dad likes to say, swapping out small eateries for big retail chains each time. Coffee shop into a Sephora, bakery into a CVS, Greasy Spoon into a Radio Shack. No one says Greasy Spoon anymore, and Radio Shack hasn't existed for a really long time. But what can I do? Mom and Dad aren't thrilled about me entering this competition in the first place, especially since they know what I want to do with the money. I've had to sneak new ingredients into the truck to experiment with, which hasn't been easy. But it'll be worth it if, in a few months, I can hit the open road. Even though I'm trying hard to make sure everything changes, I can't help but want to savor it all before everything changes. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've come to realize it is possible to foster those two emotions at once inside yourself. The need for change that I feel, and the want for things to stay the same that my parents cling to. I swipe at my eyes, some of the onion vapors starting to sting a bit. Yeah, that's it. You really need to start wearing those protective glasses, Steve says, nodding at the goggles hanging above the grill. The clear plastic has a film on the lenses from days, weeks, and months of grease splashing on them. I've never put them on, and I don't think Mom or Dad have ever used them on their own shifts in here. I can power through, I sniff, blinking through the pain. Great work comes from suffering. Yeah, okay, Daniel Day-Lewis, Steve scoffs, and I laugh. God, I'm going to miss this, being here with him. The chop busting, the hustle. The sound of the gathering crowd rings out over the hiss of the grill, and I glance back at the shutter just as it rattles open from the outside. Hey, nerds, a voice chimes in through the metal slats. I don't have to turn around to know who is there. Hey, Laura, I say, wiping my onion knife on my jeans. Steve gives me a nudge with his elbow and nods at my pants. Come on, man. Be sanitary, Steve complains. Jeans are self-cleaning. It's okay. I move to slice an onion when he grabs my arm, giving me a look. Fine. I loathe to think what food prep looks like in this truck when I'm not in here, Steve says, shaking his head. Or when you finally head off on your road trip. I bet he tastes...